A single slab of rock, about twice the weight of the Empire State Building, slides into place inside a Chilean mountain. 33 men are on the wrong side of it. 700 meters straight down. No working radio, no phone line, no food worth counting. August 5th, 2010, northern Chile. The San José mine, a copper and gold pit cut into the Atacama Desert. It is one of the oldest mines in the country. Cut into the rock in 1889, it has also been one of the deadliest. Multiple worker deaths in the years before 2010. Workers had walked off the job twice over safety. The emergency ventilation shaft was missing the escape ladder it had been ordered to have. On the afternoon of the 5th, the shift goes in anyway. Just after 2 in the afternoon, a noise starts inside the rock. Then a sound like an explosion. It is not dynamite. It is the mountain itself. A single mass of diorite, about 770,000 tons, breaks free and falls down the main ramp. It plugs the spiral road from the surface like a cork in a bottle. The dust takes 6 hours to settle. When it does, every man still on shift is alive, and sealed inside. The shift foreman is Luis Urzua, 54 years old and famously calm under pressure. He counts heads, 33, including himself. He gathers them in the emergency refuge, a small concrete room near the bottom of the mine. It is built to hold 25 men for 48 hours. There are 33 men, and nobody on the surface knows when or if anyone is coming. Inside the refuge, a few cans of tuna, some canned peaches, packets of milk crackers, 10 liters of water. Maybe 2 days of rations. Ozua makes the call that probably keeps them alive. 2 spoonfuls of tuna, a sip of milk, half a cracker, every 48 hours. That is what each man eats for the next 2 weeks. Above them, on the surface, nobody knows for sure that they are alive. The mine's owner, Compañía Minera San Esteban, takes hours to even file a report. The main ramp is impassable. The escape chimney, as ordered, has no ladder. The only way down to them is through solid rock. Families start arriving the next morning. Wives, brothers, mothers. Most of them have driven through the night. They pitch tents on the dirt road outside the gate. They name the place Campamento Esperanza, Camp Hope. It will not break camp for 69 days. Down in the refuge, it is about 90 degrees Fahrenheit and 95% humidity. Their clothes never dry. Their skin starts to crack. 33 of them are crammed into a room about the size of a small apartment. In the first days, a small group tries to climb the ventilation chimney. They get part way up. Then the makeshift ladder just ends, still 80 feet from the surface. They climb back down to the refuge. There is no other route. Day 6. The food is almost gone. Day 12. They are scraping cans they already finished. One of them, Victor Segovia, starts a diary on the back of a job sheet. He notes when men cry. He notes who prays. He counts the days. Each of them loses, on average, around 18 pounds in the first 2 weeks. Up on the surface, the government takes over the rescue. Chile's new president, Sebastián Piñera, in office only 5 months, flies straight to the site. He brings in the state copper company, Codelco, and an engineer named André Sugare to run the operation. Sugare looks at the geology and tells the families the truth. The odds of finding anyone alive, he says, are bad. They start drilling thin exploratory boreholes, several of them, aimed at where the refuge should be. Each bit is about the diameter of a grapefruit. The mine's own maps are decades old. The drills keep missing. One probe wanders so far off course it punches into a tunnel hundreds of feet from where the men actually are. Day 14, day 15, day 16. Below ground, the food is gone. August 22nd, day 17. A drill operated by a team from a contractor called Geotech hits a soft spot at about 700 meters down. The operators feel the bit drop. Then they feel something hit it from the other side. Hammering, steady, metal on metal. They pull the drill string back up. Slowly. Hundreds of meters of rod. When the bit reaches the surface, there is something taped to it. Bright red paint on the steel. And a folded piece of paper. 7 words in red marker. Estamos bien en el refugio los 33. We are well in the refuge, the 33 of us. Piñera reads it aloud to the press, holding the paper above his head. The families at Camp Hope hear it, and the whole camp goes loud at once. Day 17. Everyone is still alive. They are not, however, getting out anytime soon. The fastest rescue plan on the table takes another 3 to 4 months, so the rescue becomes a logistics problem. How do you keep 33 starving men alive through a 5-inch hole in the rock for 100 days? They name the supply tubes palomas, doves. Each one is about the diameter of a tennis ball, about 5 feet long. Everything that goes down to those men or up from them has to fit inside one. First trip down, glucose gel and rehydration salts. They cannot be fed properly yet. After 17 days of starvation, solid food would kill them. Then a fiber optic camera. The first images from the bottom of the mine reach the surface. On the surface, on a small screen, 33 bearded skeletons in damp underwear, waving. NASA gets called in. They have actually thought about this exact problem. Their advice: lighting schedule, structured contact with family, daily roles, a chain of command. Down in the refuge, the men get assigned jobs. Yoni Barrios, who once trained briefly as a nurse for his mother, becomes the doctor. Victor Segovia keeps writing the diary, a page a day, on paper sent down through the tube. Mario Sepulveda, an electrician with too much energy, becomes the morale guy. Edison Peña, a marathon runner before the collapse, runs laps through the tunnel, about 6 miles a day, in mining boots, in the dark, at 90 degrees. He asks the surface for Elvis songs. They send him an MP3 player in a paloma. The palomas start running on a schedule. Each trip takes about an hour. Down and back up. Down. Food, clean shirts, letters, toothbrushes, vitamins. Up, dirty laundry, video messages, the diary pages. Food first, then proper meals, hot, vacuum sealed. By the end of August they have a phone line, then a video line, then movies projected onto a damp tunnel wall. On the surface, Camp Hope grows into a small town. Wooden cabins, a makeshift chapel, a small schoolhouse for the children, press tents from nearly 40 countries, 33 Chilean flags planted along the road, one for each man below. Meanwhile, 3 rescue drills race each other through about half a mile of solid rock. Plan A is a slow Australian-built rig, a Strata 950, rushed over from another Chilean mine. It starts drilling first. Plan B is a faster American water well drill, a Schramm T-130, hauled 500 kilometers from a mine up north. Plan C is an actual oil rig, trucked overland from Iquique. The biggest of the 3. 3 machines, 1 race. The men below have no idea who is winning. The rescue hole has to be wide enough for a man standing inside a steel tube. The Chilean Navy designs the capsule. They call it Fénix. Fénix. It is a steel tube about 13 feet tall and 21 inches across, 1 man at a time, standing up, for a ride of about 15 minutes. Oxygen tank, harness, microphone, roof escape hatch, retractable wheels along the sides. Built in a few weeks, in a Navy workshop in Talcahuano, 3 capsules are built. Fénix 1, Fénix 2, Fénix 3. Fénix 2 is the one that will actually do the work. October 9th, day 66. Plan B wins the race. At the controls of the Schramm T-130 is an American driller named Jeff Hart. Hart had been drilling water wells for the U.S. Army in Afghanistan when the call came. He flew straight to Chile. He stands at the controls for 33 days, in shifts. On the morning of October 9th, his drill bit breaks through into the tunnel below. There is a problem. The walls of the new shaft are crumbling. Sections might not hold the capsule. They line just the top 96 meters with steel casing. The rest they leave bare and pray. October 12th, day 69. The Fénix 2 is hooked to a cable spool above the new shaft. Just after 11 p.m., a veteran Codelco mine rescuer named Manuel Gonzalez gets in first to test the hole. He rides alone about 2,000 feet down to make sure the shaft will hold. He climbs out into the tunnel at the bottom. 33 skinny men in dark sunglasses are waiting for him. The first man up is Florencio Avalos, 31 years old, second in command of the shift. He is chosen because he is calm, and because if something goes wrong on the first trip, he can describe it on the radio. His ride-up takes about 16 minutes. He steps out just after midnight, October 13th, into the arms of his 7-year-old son and the president. The second man up is Mario Sepulveda. He hugs the president. He hands out souvenirs, rocks, from the bottom of the mine. He brought enough for everyone in the rescue tent. One by one, every 15 to 30 minutes, the Fénix 2 surfaces with another miner inside. Edison Peña, the runner. Yoni Barrios, the medic. Victor Segovia, with 69 days of diary pages in a sealed plastic bag. The world is watching live. Estimates put the audience at roughly 1 billion. About 22.5 hours after the first trip down, the last man rides up. Luis Urzua, the foreman, the man who counted heads on day 1. He rode up alone exactly as he insisted. He steps out a few minutes before 10 p.m. on October 13th, 2010. He shakes the president's hand and says, in Spanish, that he has completed his shift and is handing it over. 69 days, 33 men, no one missing. Behind them, the San Jose mine is shut. Compañía Minera San Esteban files for bankruptcy within months. Criminal charges against the owners are eventually dropped. The Fénix 2 ends up in a museum. Jeff Hart goes back to drilling water wells. Mario Sepulveda becomes a motivational speaker. Edison Peña runs the New York City Marathon just weeks after coming up. Most of the others go back to mining. A few cannot. The dreams do not stop. They sign a pact to split all book and film rights 33 ways. A Hollywood movie comes out in 2015. Antonio Banderas plays Super Mario. Down in the mountain, the slab of rock that started it all is still where it landed. About 770,000 tons. Untouched. Hundreds of meters above it, capped in steel, the borehole. The one that kept 33 men alive for 69 days. About the width of a grapefruit. Up on the surface, where Camp Hope used to be, the tents are gone. There is a small memorial now. 33 Chilean flags. 33 stones from the mine. Each stone has a name and a date. Every name has the same date next to it. October 13th, 2010. Not the day they died. The day all 33 of them came home.